I'm Robin Hamilton, a slightly grumpy Englishman with no athletic ability. This summer, I'm attempting to cycle the Great Divide mountain bike route, or GDMBR, stretching 2,700 miles along the Continental Divide, from Banff in Alberta to Antelope Wells in New Mexico. It's taken a lot of planning, prep and support just to get here, but with 90% of the route off-road, 200,000 feet of elevation change, wild animals, wild weather, and a wildly overladen bike, there's a lot that can go wrong. How far will I get? Let's find out together. Good morning. I'm just on my way back into Salida to find somewhere for breakfast. It's going to be quite a big day. I think it's only about 35, 37 miles, but well over 4,000 feet in terms of climb. Yes, Salida, as I said yesterday, looks really nice. I wouldn't mind spending some time here. It looks like it's going to be a sunny day with light winds, not expecting any rain at all. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to today. I've started to think about the miles that I've got left and the number of days that I've got left, because I'm aiming for a particular date, and currently it's all on track, so that's good. When I stayed in Rawlins, they had a big hill with an R on it, and now in Salida we got a big hill with an S on it. I don't know if you can see that. I've picked out a restaurant for this morning, a family-owned Mexican restaurant that opens at 7 and does breakfast. I didn't stay here, but love this motel. And if you look over here, they got electric car charging points. How cool is that? $11,312 feet. I seem to have arrived. This little cabin is great. It's got 4 bunks. I think there's just 2 of us in there this evening. It's got a laundry, so I'm just doing some clothes washing, and it's also got a bar. Well, this is nice by the creek. I didn't film much today while I was out and about. There wasn't that much to see really, but take a look at this. Morning. It's Monday the 1st of September and I'm at Tomichi Creek Trading Post. Shared a cabin last night, which was nice. Aiming to get to Del Norte in 2 days, which means I need to do at least 50 miles a day. So it's going to be a tough couple of days, but I know that I've got a decent room at the end of it, so that'll be nice. Yesterday was a shorter day. I only did, 30 something miles, but I did do, I think, my biggest ever recorded climb, which was fairly hard going. I don't think the climbing is too strenuous today, but after Del Norte, then it starts to get really serious in terms of climbing and also in terms of water. I've identified 2 campsites today, both with water, which needs to be filtered, but at least they've got water. So see how I feel in terms of how far I get. What a stunning morning. The wind is light, and I think it's going to be about 25, 26 today, something like that. So really nice riding conditions. And we start with a piece of road, which would be nice to get my legs warmed up. And we're back on the route. 13 miles of tarmac, then we start to head up into the hills. I've never really been into audiobooks, but of course a lot depends on the narrator. In the last few days I've started listening to more, and I get a lot from it. I don't think it's going to continue when I get home, but it's good, as long as the ambient noise isn't too loud. Yeah, so did mine.
You didn't say you're on the track?
No, yeah, in my headphones, it just said turn right.
I know.
But my Garmin said turn left.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So we're on track now, right?
Yeah, we absolutely are. That was pretty open where we were, no real shade. Beautiful scenery though. And now we've ended up on this short road section, which was unexpected. Beautifully smooth tarmac. And we're back off-road again. On this road for another 26.25 miles, hoping to stop at the reservoir for lunch. Just exiting Gunnison State Forest. So this is an historic stage route, and this is the summit of Coochtopa Pass. So we've got a little bit of downhill after this, and then it goes up even higher. Yeah, nice to make it to the top. From the summit of Coochtopa Pass, it's 2 miles downhill to Luders Campground. It says that there's water there from a spring, so I can filter that, no problem. It's a bit early to stop. If I don't stop at Luders, I've got limited options, but it does mean a very long day tomorrow to Del Norte, about 60 miles with a big pass. But right here, right now, that seems to be the right thing to do. I'll have done nearly 50 miles by the time I get to the campground anyway. The trees smell amazing. The wild sage, the desert sage, has a smell all of its own. And there's a nice breeze as I've come over the top of the pass. Okay, we're at Luders. So look. Campsite number 1 looks good to me. So, camping at altitude. We're nearly at 10,000 feet here, so I think it's going to get really, really cold. Tent is set up. I'm here with John. John's got his tent set up. And one of the other things you have to do when you're in bear country is hang your food. So there's my food in a bear-resistant bag hanging from the tree. That's about as good as it can be. And it's only 6:32 in the evening and I'm just about ready for bed. Must remember to go to bed with my bear spray just in case. Yeah, I think I'm going to be in bed before 7 o'clock. Rock and roll. Good morning. It's just gone 7 o'clock on the 2nd of September. I'm in Luders Creek Campground. Just about packed up, as you can see, making something hot. It's really cold. About 60 miles, I think, today to Del Norte. So it's going to be a bit of a challenging day, but I've got a bed and a rest day at the end of it. I don't know if they're wolves or coyotes, but there was a right racket in the middle of the night. And it's happened a few times. Had to filter some water for breakfast this morning, but it looks like I've made so much porridge here, I'm going to need to boil up a little bit more. So I better get the filter back on again. Oh well. Right, get myself warmed up from the inside and head for Del Norte. There's one climb, I can't remember the name of the pass. Carnero Pass? Can't remember. I will reconfirm later. Right, onwards and forwards. And it's a cracking morning. Oh, well, this is a nice way to start the day. Downhill. Right, and now we go up again. But that was fun. 4.5 miles of downhill into the next pass. God, that will wake anyone up. The legs are not awake yet. I'm like, what? It's nice getting out before it gets hot. Hi horses. Well, I was totally wrong earlier on when I said we were going up again. That was just a small uphill. I had another, I don't know, 8 or 9 miles of downhill after that, which was great. Now just starting the real climb of the pass. It looks like it's going to go on for about 10 miles. So I'm presuming that is the real one. Just going to chill and plod up this, what is it, about 1,800 feet. So not too bad, average of 4%. And we're back in the forest. Nearly there, nearly there. Oh, made it. Carnero Pass, 10,166 feet. That was harder than Coochtopa Pass, though on paper they looked about the same. Wow. Yeah, that one was a bit interesting. I think there's just 1 or maybe 2 more climbs before Del Norte, but I've got a downhill first, so that's good. Okay, onwards. Okay, this is pretty spectacular. Pushing a bit to get to La Garita, which is about half a mile off the route. But apparently they have a cafe that stays open till 2 o'clock, and they also have a water tap in the square, I presume. I could do with some more water. Currently at 41.3 miles, and I've only got about 3 miles to La Garita. Bit of a headwind though, as you could probably hear. It is open. Hi there.
Hey. Are you riding that field all the way down from Canada?
Yes.
Huh.
Lunch was a burger and side salad was excellent. Elephant rocks, and someone's put a little elephant there. There's some amazing rock formations around here. Right, about 10 miles to go, I think. But surely that's got to be elephant. If that's not elephant, I don't know what would be. It must look tiny, this camera. It's so impressive when you're here. It's just massive. Oh, it was worth coming up here. Right, continue the climb. Scrub that. It's 15 miles with some climb, but I think it's worth coming the scenic way to see some of these rock formations. If I get to my hotel 3/4 of an hour later, it doesn't really matter. This is the moment it all went horribly wrong and I fell. I'm perfectly fine. But if you don't want to see me dealing with this, then just skip the next couple of minutes. Otherwise, let's carry on. Just a slight accident. I'm about, I don't know, 6 miles out of town, something like that. Okay, fingers are all okay. Legs gonna swell up, legs gonna swell up. I've done 2,000 miles. I'm 19, 20 days away from finishing. Not now. This doesn't feel like a normal knock. I think I might have done something. There's the bike. The bike seems okay. Now, of course, my mind is spinning about my insurance and US hospitals and the cost of things. I've got insurance. It's just, insurance companies are like, well, I can't do anything here. I've got some painkillers, so I can take those. I have to try and get my bike up right. And then, this is just a dirt track. I can walk it and I can get there before dark. There was nothing wrong with this piece of ground. Look, it's perfectly normal. There's nothing bad here at all. Nothing. It's not like there was a big gully I went down. It was just completely normal. I'm trying to cycle it because it's flat, but the headwind is crazy and there isn't a faster way to get there. So it looks like it's another 5 miles. I don't really want to call an ambulance because I can still move. This is getting a bit much. I think it's about, hopefully, about 4 miles to the main road, so at least I'm not on this track. I have to see if there's an emergency room in Del Norte. They must have something there. It's not a big town. Well, that day didn't go very well, did it? It's now a week later, so I'm going to tell you what happened. I made it down from the high single track down onto the gravel road, and then there was a big headwind, and I was only 1.8 miles away from the town centre. And I thought maybe I could make it to a medical place on my own, but I realised I couldn't. So I ended up dialing 911, and they were great. And then within about 10 minutes, the sheriff turned up, and the guy was so helpful, and he got me off my bike, and I sat on the tailgate of his truck for a little while, and then the ambulance appeared, and the ladies running the ambulance were just amazing. They were so reassuring, and they looked after me, strapped me in, and then brought me to the Rio Grande Medical Center, where I've been ever since then. I can't say enough good things about the staff at the Rio Grande Medical Center in Del Norte. If I had to end up anywhere, I'm really glad that I ended up here. So, what was the end result? I fractured 5 ribs. So that is the end of my GDMBR, I'm afraid. But I really landed on my feet because obviously I don't know anyone here, and if I'd wanted to, they would have admitted me. But I decided that wasn't the way I wanted to go. And at the Rio Grande Hospital, they have 5 tiny houses that are here for people that have to come in regularly for treatment. And they've kindly allowed me to stay. And I thought I would just stay for a day. And in fact, I was wandering out of the hospital with my bike the next morning, and they stopped me. And basically, they've allowed me to stay here for a whole week. And the place is phenomenal. The people are phenomenal. And I've made some friends while I'm here too. Everybody here has been absolutely fantastic. Janine and Eric in particular, they've really looked after me. And in fact, Eric is going to take me to Denver which is about 4.5 hours away tomorrow morning to the airport. Maybe that's just how it is in this town, because it's a very, very small town. Everybody looks out for everybody else. It's been a bit tough because, as you can see behind me, you can see the mountains, and actually the road here just behind me is where the GDMBR riders go past. So devastated doesn't even begin to cover how I'm feeling about not finishing the GDMBR. But let's look on the bright side. I made it to 2,000 miles, over 81,000 feet in climbing. What will I remember? The wet and wild of Canada, the mountains, the snow, the streams, the expanses of Wyoming, which seem to go on forever, but just spectacular and true isolation. Idaho. I think I only met 2 people in Idaho, 2 of which were from Austria. But the rolling fields, and then seeing the Tetons for the first time, just being near that mountain range, that was something. The Great Basin, the Red Desert, being out in the middle of nowhere, staying at Wild Bill's next to the gun shop, that was something amazing. Colorado, from the super affluent places such as Breckenridge, ski resorts, to less affluent places like Del Norte, where I am now. But the people that I've met along the way, everybody I've met could not be more helpful, more positive. It doesn't matter whether it was Canada, it doesn't matter which state it was. People have been phenomenal. So I didn't finish. This wasn't how it was supposed to end. But I'm kind of proud of how far I got. So I'm leaving here at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Flight out of Denver tomorrow afternoon, and back in the UK on Thursday morning. So it's 9:13 in the morning and the bike shop opens at 10 o'clock. So I'm going to get a few things together and then I'm going to wheel the bike into town, and for $100 they will clean the bike and package it up for me. So I'm going to take them up on that. Yesterday I went to the thrift shop in town and I picked up a suitcase so I can start packing all my bits and pieces later on. If we go right back to the beginning, I didn't promise myself Antelope Wells. I promised myself an adventure. And what an adventure it has been. The things I've seen, everyone I've met along the way, the experiences I've had. I've learned more about myself. I've learned more about what I'm capable of. And even though I've been out there on my own, people have been tracking me online and have been sending me messages of support. I've never really felt on my own. So thank you. As I'm recording this, I think we now have 1,300 subscribers on the channel. So I'm so sorry you won't get to see the whole of the route this time. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for commenting. It's been fantastic to go on this journey knowing that you're there too.